Alright, and we are go.
Okay. So I'm
Alright.
thinking since Liz had to be taken back to Henderson's place, he probably let her get settled there and then came back and it was late and people were kind of dispersed. And then Henderson just was like, "Can we talk in private?"
Hey, hey, sure thing, that works. That was not Hellings.
Hey,
Hey!
has someone checked your brain recently, Hellings?
I've got so much brain damage, it's changed my personality module.
Has anyone checked your Fey deals lately, Hellings?
How are your failings? I mean feelings. No, but you're okay.
Okay. All right. So, can we talk in private really quick?
He narrows his brow. Not narrows.
Sorry.
Not narrows.
Furrows.
Furrows. Thank you. We need to stop. I need to break this habit before it comes back. He furrows his brow at you. Very well.
And we go into office, and he, I guess, takes his position behind the desk out of habit.
Sure.
They can't just stand and talk. He has to be in a position of authority.
I mean, honestly, go ahead and roll a memory, Henderson.
That's.
You recall that Hellings has actually been sitting in that chair a lot less recently.
Hmm.
He's usually in the living room, or when he is in the office, he's actually usually sitting in that chair.
Right. Okay. He's been dethroned. Um. So Henderson is like, um. So it's. I was. Given our last talk, I was under the impression that you weren't going to tell Aisha about our thing. It was sorry. Was that not that you didn't have the right to? I just blindsided a little bit.
What?
Sorry. Aisha knows about what happened.
Go ahead and roll an empathy, Henderson.
What did I speak? Oh, I minimized it. That's why. Empathy. What's empathy? 4-1. I mean, this is in between sessions, so it doesn't matter, and I had some left over, so we'll power that. Woo!
Nice. You see him completely freeze, and he's looking at you, Henderson, and everything in his face is just like, wait. And you can tell it's taking
Did,
him a bit, like,
well, I cut out, or you cut out. Breathe. Breathe. Well, breathe. Oh, that's it.
Motherfucker, I don't know why it does that. It will automatically adjust my mic settings without asking me to. And so it sends me straight to hell.
Alright, so you cut out, it's taking him a bit, and then, or something bit.
Okay. So, it appears to be, I'm leaving it on this more upbeat one, I think it's fun. You can literally see it hit him, and it seems like as if he were looking at it and then double checks it, and then triple checks it, and then it really is a fuck. That implies she knows. And he looks very shocked and kind of uncomfortable, and by kind of I mean pretty uncomfortable.
Henderson immediately gets a little more uncomfortable and a little more like surprised and kind of panicked himself, and he's like, you did tell her, you were the one to tell her, right? I mean, I assume it's you. I don't think anyone else knows.
He opens his mouth to speak and then closes it, and he kind of leans in as if he's about to talk to you, and his little scrunched in expression, he's just moving his hands in a way like he's trying to find words. I didn't... Mr. Henderson. When I told you I would not... Oh, 1 second, I need to get more into... I'm gonna mute myself and say fuck. It helps. 1 second.
I mean, why not have Hellings say fuck?
Oh, fuck! No, you probably... Mr. Henderson, when I told you that I would not tell my wife... that is that. That doesn't mean I'm going to go and tell my wife.
I thought not, but I got accused of having a secret by Natalie, and your wife came and defended me as if she knew what she was.
What did she say?
About. Can I roll memory? Because I honestly don't remember exactly what she said.
Go ahead, roll a intelligence composure. The words of Aisha Hellings replay in your head, and it's just I think it was, as far as secrets go, it's not that bad, or something like that.
And she backed up like Sal in that it was like personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, as far as secrets go, it's not that bad, and Sal implied that he knew something too, though I don't know exactly what, but he said it was personal, and she agreed.
Puts a hand over his mouth and leans his forearms on the desk. Mr. Santos.
Yes.
Backed you as well. Fuck. I've no idea how this could have... I did not tell Aisha. Evidently, maybe... Did Mr. Santos say something first?
He did.
And then Aisha spoke.
Yes.
There's a possibility that maybe she was bluffing.
To keep the peace?
I would not be surprised.
Oh, okay, because there's no cameras Is there cameras in base?
There better not be fucking cameras in base. I think I'd know if there were.
Right, so I can't see how anyone would know unless they eavesdropped or whatever.
His face when you say eavesdropped.
But the house is empty usually, or people were otherwise concerned, so...
Half the people don't even know the attic exists.
Yes.
He runs his hands through his hair.
I mean... Aubrey seemed to know when we did things,
Stops.
So... maybe she had cameras, or maybe it was a witch thing?
Oh, did you say that Aubrey knew?
Well, at one point, Natalie dove in personal files, and Aubrey didn't know about us. I don't think she never gave it any indication. But I'm saying, one time Natalie snooped in files, and Aubrey seemed upset about that, and it was sort of. I'm just assuming that was what it was about. Maybe Natalie did something I didn't know, but Aubrey made vague references to it. But Aubrey's dead now, so.
What does that matter? Then why mention it? Or is that just based off the cameras?
Secret cameras that even you didn't know about, since it seemed like there were a lot of secrets being kept between all of the various aces and not aces and whatnot.
Any cameras that, if there were any cameras, they'd have to be set up to something. That they could just record and they could just collect that later, or they would be set to go to some computer or something else.
Right.
And if there's one thing I'm sure you've noticed, a lot of people in this town do not understand the concept of a computer.
Right. So, maybe you should talk with Aisha and see if you can figure out if she's bluffing or not.
Well, if she is bluffing, she definitely will know afterward.
Well, I mean, ask. I mean,
how do you propose I start off that conversation, Mr. Henderson?
Well, no, maybe you could just be like, was there any tension on the mission, and see how much she explains. And if she mentions it, you're like, oh, what is that? No, never mind. I'm not. You'd want like Penny or Lemons to look into it. I'm not. I'm not entirely subtle. I don't know how. Oh. Thank you for not telling her. I'm glad it wasn't you breaking your word.
No,
or my misreading of the situation.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. No.
A long silent pause.
Yeah.
And sorry about bringing it up again, since you said you didn't want to ever talk about it again.
Puts his hands on his forehead again. these past 6 months have been a doozy, Mr. Henderson. For lack of a better term.
I can certainly say the same. I was an accountant. Sarah's talking.
Holy shit. The comedic timing on that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck. I was an accountant. I kind of want to go into the TV tropes page and change this fucking quote to that.
The sequel to I Can Do Taxes.
I'm an accountant.
It only took him 3 months to complete the thought.
Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm crying. That was so beautiful. Okay, in character, I can do this. Fuck, okay. He looks up. Oh, right. Apologies that you haven't exactly been able to use that skill set, I suppose.
Oh, I mean, it's helped with the thoroughness of my reports, I guess. And I mean, I did do a little while you were out with finances and stuff. Cheney certainly wasn't going to.
I appreciate that. It certainly makes my life a lot easier not having to deal with catching up on that in addition to everything else.
Henderson nods.
Santos,
I'm not sure. You might have been referring to something different.
what?
I don't know.
What did he say?
Well, Natalie had withheld some pertinent information with regards to the mission, and I was angry at her for her choice of withholding and what I considered bad reasons for doing so, and that's when she accused me of hiding my own secrets, which I told everyone when Julia, I mean, it took me a little bit, but when Julia came back, it was but Salvador came in and said it was not the same thing at all. It, implied it was personal and had no relevancy to our continued survival and success, which it doesn't,
It doesn't.
I mean, it's person. I mean, I suppose people could be upset if they found out about giving gestures at him and Hellings, but it was a one-time thing, and I'm not hiding supernatural anything.
Of course. No, it's as was said, it's not relevant at all to the personal interest, I suppose, of the team. It's not part of an mission or anything of the sort. It doesn't matter. It he just shakes his head.
Yes. No. There's no reason to reveal any of it. It might. It truly is probably better left unsaid in case like people accuse, I don't know, favoritism or something.
Go ahead and roll an empathy, Henderson.
Oh, that's too many dice. Sorry.
Just re-roll, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, still one.
Hey. You just see Helling nod idly when you say that.
Was favoritism? No. Honestly, it was Henderson's favoritism towards Hellings that he kept looking over all of the everyone's like, Hellings is a jerk, and Henderson's like, oh, come on, guys, he's not that bad.
It's kind of hot.
Crush. He's kind of hot. And Henderson holding him down as he got punched probably dispels favoritism.
Probably.
I mean, you could always, if people talk about secrets, you could always go to Aisha asking if there's any you should know about, or I don't know what people are referring to. See, Fane, I don't know. I'm not gonna. You don't have to go. Talk to your wife about it. That's selfish of me to make you do that just for peace of mind.
Oh, so more mine too. If it's something that came up in addition to other things.
Organically.
Yes.
I mean, it was your being open is correct, right?
Yes.
That's true. Okay. I mean, yeah. I assume she had people too, and that's why it's not a big deal.
Right.
Right. Yes, that's all I can talk about.
Oh, I can speak with her and see if there's something. Keep in mind, I'm not exactly the most charismatic of sorts.
You're okay when you're not being angry. Sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, she likes you well enough, right?
Well, I hope so.
So you've got that advantage going for you.
Right. God, I need to update fucking Hellings token. It's so out of date. Ugh. He's got a little beard now.
Aw. And I assume he's not half bandages anymore.
No, he's got a patch. Is there anything else you wanted to speak about? Or I suppose you did just say, was that?
No, no business to attend to really. The mission went well. I could bring you a report later.
It'll make its way to me.
Right. Oh, okay.
1 second, I'm checking something quick.
Okay.
Gremlin crawls away. 1 second.
Okay.
I heard Miss Sam Belling's out there earlier. I suppose that'll be in your mission report, but
If you want, I can tell you about it now.
sooner the better, I'd imagine.
Right. Well, shuffled back into chair. Was doing his sneak out, like, edge out room slowly, but it's back down. When we got there, well, her window has been repaired since the last time we were there, and, but it appeared things still tried to get in, but there was no signs of force entry, but several furnishings and flower pots and whatnot were oozing large pools of blood. Which the reason I got terse with Natalie is because apparently she had learned that the St. Belling's family in general had a strong connection to blood soil, and that many of them were active carriers of it, and had not told us of that particular fact. In addition to not telling us about why she didn't felt we shouldn't go on the mission in the first place.
She withheld all this from me.
She initially revealed about why she thought she tried so hard to prevent us from going on the mission, which was that she thought we would be in danger, but she didn't want to reveal that the information had come from Finnegan, because she still has a connection to him in her dreams. But she told us first that what Finnegan had told her about the hedge beasts coming after us if we went and whatnot. But she had withheld the blood soil information, and those of us who made it into the house, she was not with us initially, had no idea until we walked in and saw the blood that there was potential for an infection. We hadn't come prepared with, biohazard gloves or anything, so that's why I got angry with her.
It's a good reason. And endangers the entire team.
That was my reasoning as well, but she seemed worried that Finnegan was using her to plant false information, and so she didn't want to share it and confuse us with it.
Then when you share the information, you state that you think it might be false. That's easy workaround.
She did do that when she eventually shared it with us, which is... Oh, yes. This is all the points I made to her until she decided to bring up my own supposed secrets in defense of herself. But, I haven't endangered anyone with mine. With this, of course. Right, so then we found Liz, and she had barred herself in her room with a knife. She said that she had heard noises moving around inside and, feared for her life that something had been inside, making quite loud noises. But she was safe. She has some small flecks of blood on her, which I think she should be tested for blood soil, and Arthur too, since given our new information. But it appears, I don't know if you recall, but there was a ghost. Of course you recall, you were there.
Yes.
The ghost at her estate had apparently been of her mother had been excised.
And we know this how.
Yes, she was the house was vacant of ghosts as far as we could tell. And we theorized that she had been holding back the fountains of blood that we also found.
It's possible.
All this is predicated on Finnegan told Natalie once again. This might be
it's a theory,
but it's right that the ghost of Miss St. Bellings was an obstacle to himself, and that the whole family was an obstacle to himself. And so that's. It seems we theorize that he may have found some way to excise the ghost, though how he did so, and considering there were no hoof prints or, like I said, signs of forced entry, all the windows and doors were intact. Though I got in with the key under a flower pot at the front door that I found from last time we were there, so someone else could have.
Possibly.
But there was a lot of hedge beasts there when we arrived. It's a lot of hedge beasts, like all of them.
All of them.
It seems, I don't know if it's literally all of them, but it's far more than we've ever seen before. More than a couple dozen, probably.
And you go past them? Well, obviously, but...
Theo, Aisha, and I snuck past them while we had both Tomo and River. River had night vision. I think Tomo was just making do with his scope. They were sniping the hedge beasts while the rest of the team, Sal, Natalie, and Lemons, drew them off with noise. And I believe at some point, I'm not entirely sure what happened since I wasn't there. I think Sal set himself on fire, or yelled and drew all the hedge beasts to him, and they all ended up on fire.
Oh my god.
But I was inside the house by the time the blaze had really gotten going, so you'll have to ask someone on that team for what exactly happened there. He somehow drew them all to him.
And alive, I'm assuming.
Yes, apparently, yeah. Barely holding together, but.
So that seemed. Well done. You got out of there, that's important. And there's no casualties, as far as we can tell.
No, not as far as we can tell.
Good. We'll see what we can do about that Natalie situation.
Yes, I don't think she meant anything by it, but I think it was just poor judgment on her part.
Sounds like she's compromised.
By how, like, emotionally compromised?
Likely.
A lot of
People are.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm aware. He stands up.
You seem to be doing much better, though.
I've been out of it for a while. I've been able to step back. I'm not happy with how things are going right now. I'm happy that no one's getting hurt, but there's more I could do if I wasn't. He just looks frustrated. Things aren't clicking the way they used to. It's not as easy.
Well, you whipped me back into shape after not wrestling for 20 years, so I'm sure you'll get yourself back up too.
I'm certainly trying. Sounds like it's about time I'm have to get it over with. We're floundering. People in the town are getting out, or worse.
I'm honestly thinking we should, with how many hedge beasts we saw last night or tonight, I guess. I'm honestly thinking we should find some reason to evacuate people.
I could try.
You know, poison the water. I mean, not actually literally, but you know, poison the water supply or
The tricky thing.
fracking. Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, you can. I was. Don't make excuses.
The tricky thing about it is because it is in an unincorporated area, it's not set. There isn't a council you can approach or anything like that. We've made do, we've created... the curfew was created originally, and people follow that pretty well, but getting these people to abandon their homes... You'd think they'd have done it by now with the amount of people that have gone missing. They're just stubborn as rocks, they are.
Well, maybe if we can pretend an official government person told them to, it might be the last push they need to justify it to themselves.
I think that's what I should had in mind.
Either that or tell them what's going on.
I'm not telling them what's going on.
At least if they're informed, they can buy guns or decide for themselves if it's worth the risk.
Mr. Henderson, telling them what's going on is exposing them to the way of life that you and I live.
Right.
And
it seems like
go,
sorry, no,
go,
no,
go, Mr. Henderson. No, it's fine.
I'm just we've lost less people than the town has, so I don't know. It feels like either we're not doing enough, putting enough on the line, or I don't know, we're safer somehow because. But I know we don't. If they can go without knowing, of course, absolutely. No one else should be dragged into this.
What if it's a last resort sort of thing?
Right. We should at least prepare for the possibility.
Of course. It'd be a damn shame to have to do that. I've spoken with Aisha before. There's suspect that at least a few individuals in town after know something is going on and just aren't saying anything.
Maybe we could send code out, something where people who know what's going on might be able to respond, freely of their own will to, if they know other people suspect out there, they might think they're alone. They might be willing to help or even just offer supplies.
We could do that. Establish a non-recruit relationship.
Yes.
I think it'd do this division some good. Giving people some choice around here.
Yeah.
He shakes his head. You and your team have been through a lot. It's I contributed to some of those problems before. And I apologise for that.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Just it's maddening. This place is maddening.
You know, who knows? Maybe that's literally true. Maybe it's literally eats away at people.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Where I was prior to being put on leave. He puts stress on that word as he seems to struggle to find a different word for it. It was unbelievable. There was nothing else except trying to keep this division from sinking and imploding on itself. Where I was before, it was busy. We worked with quite a bit of people, and I will admit to having gotten a couple tussles over disagreements, but it was never like this. It was never feeling like you're being actively sabotaged by the people you're supposed to be working with, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Absolutely maddening.
Maybe it's it's always darkest just before dawn, because as someone gets closer to solving something that maybe interferes with something else, that they get more desperate, and so they will more actively try to hurt people or be more desperate themselves. It's just the pains of getting things. I mean, I'm phrasing this badly. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I believe.
But I don't think anyone in this division tried to sabotage things for evil.
No. No, it's always because everyone thinks they're doing the best interest. I think the rest of the team, your co-workers around your rank, are in a similar or the same position as I was just a couple month ago, God, hasn't even been that long. I believe that's why Miss Cole is acting the way she is. It's probably because she's stressed to IL and is, well, frankly, probably falling apart.
Well, it's just a question of when is it time to have someone step back or take the reins, or
Well, when they get to that point, you
trust.
have to ask them to step down.
I mean, Aisha seems to being a pretty active leader, unlike Aubrey was at sometimes. So I'll trust your and her and Jamie, I suppose. I'll your judgment.
He makes a small, like, not a face exactly when you say Cheney, but
I mean, with Cheney, it seems her big conflict has been resolved, so hopefully more trustworthy or less. Not trust.
I understand what you're saying. I also think that Cheney is not in a position to lead. I don't think she ever was.
No, I certainly think of the people here, Aisha or you are the best choices.
I was just calling for backup pretty soon here. We won't be able to get what we completely need. But it'll be something. It'll be at least when I at least last spoke to her when you all came in. She has someone, at least one from every suit, who would be able to help.
Oh, good. And being people who are completely unrelated to all this business means should be no more saboteurs.
Yes. I don't know how long it'll take for all of them to get here. And I don't know what our plan is. Because I agree, I think that getting the people out would be a good course of action if we can get the way to get them to take those roots out of the damn floor. But I think I was just thinking something different.
Maybe. But if something with the blood soil is somehow now released, given the fountains of blood at the Bellings estate, it'd be pretty easy to say quarantine, ask everyone to leave.
Mm-hmm. Just go.
But I mean, not. I'm sure you'll come to a good solution past myself, with Aisha and the other aces or potential aces.
He nods. Yes, but it is good to have a sane mind to bounce what's going in my head off of. Apologise for that.
Henderson shakes, not a problem.
I'll look into seeing if there's any cameras around. Probably tomorrow, day after, we'll see. And I'll keep you posted on that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Oh. I always leave just before the final.
It's because Hellings is a man of much masculinity, and he can't get himself to say final words until the person's literally about to leave.
Alright, I'll put Henderson back in the void so people do not suspect.
Goodbye, Henderson! She pulls out gun.
Goodbye.
Alright, let me get
You must be eliminated, Mr. Henderson, before people suspect your relationship with Hellings.
This man is dead. Bang.